Then we see Swerve versus Killswitch in a, I guess you can call it an AEW Eliminator Championship World Championship title #1 contender match, whatever they want to call it. I'm gonna say something and present something, but it's gonna be after the Jon Moxley match. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts first, and I want to kind of go over a couple things. But John, Swerve, we saw him in the, I guess you can say, second segment of the show. Not the first match, not the main event. He's the world champion. Aside from that, what did you think of the match?
I thought the match was fine. I had a hard time getting past the Mercedes segment being before it because they're giving her the flowers after winning a title coming off the last pay-per-view, whereas they didn't do that with Swerve, and that was something that stuck out like a sore thumb with us. And then they roll him right out after in a match that I have some things to mention, but just to make sure that I'm being positive here in some point. Right before this, I really
you don't have to be. You don't have to be, by the way.
I really liked the Double or Nothing montage. I thought it was really well done. But the match was fine as far as the competitiveness goes. But it really shouldn't have been that competitive is point number one. Once again, right? We've seen Swerve with that title already go, I don't know how long with Kyle Fletcher, and now this time with Killswitch. It was also listed as a House of Dragon Who's House match, which I don't know what that is or what the stakes. Oh, I know what the stakes are because it's the Eliminator match, but is it that match or is it this kind of match? What are the rules? I don't know. Didn't seem to be different to me at all. If it was some sort of dragon match, I would think that a dinosaur would have a little bit of an edge. So maybe that explains why it was as competitive as it was. But I also believe, didn't Killswitch kick out of a finisher? I don't get that. It confuses people, and that's what we were talking about before. We don't know how much to get behind Swerve, and that's unfortunate because he's fantastic.
You're reading my notes now, John. Yeah, but for me, like you said, I did like the match. I thought the match was fine. I did have a problem with him kicking out of the finish because now, as your world champion and you're wrestling on TV every week, that finish needs to be established as something that is dangerous and does not get kicked out of, so that when it does happen at a big moment on a pay-per-view, that's when people bite and go, oh, I thought, that's when it means something. And this match should have happened last week on the go-home show going in, not against Nick Wayne. And it's nothing against Nick Wayne, but he just didn't fit in that spot. And I know people are going to defend it by saying, but they have a history. Yeah, but you have a history with a lot of guys if you go far enough back. That's not the point. The point here, at least Killswitch presents a more of a threat going into the pay-per-view. And this idea of having an Eliminator championship match so that you have to beat the champion to get a shot at the champion. So in essence, you have to beat him twice to win the championship is ridiculous to me. I don't understand that one at all. Yes, I don't like non-title matches as well, but at least you don't have to beat the champion to get a shot at the champion. There's other ways to do it. And again, why after it's mind-boggling to me that the guy that should be the man that they strap the rocket to, the man, I like Swerve. I think he's the guy who can carry this championship well. But the problem is the championship doesn't make a man. The man makes a championship, but he also has to be put in a position to do that. And they haven't done that yet.
I do want to add on a little sprinkle to what you guys said. In terms of kicking out of the finish, I don't mind it happening, but in this case scenario, nothing is going to happen with Killswitch. Like, it's one thing if, oh my God, Killswitch kicked out of the finisher, and then he gets built up throughout the weeks, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
What are we doing here? I feel like I'm going to say that a lot.
Well, George, the other thing too, real quick, if you don't mind, I'm sorry. There was something else added to it after the fact, right? Like Swerve getting his revenge in terms of having his dread pulled out.
Look at that. Look at that. Swerve cuts his part of his hair as payback.
Well, were my eyes playing tricks on me, or did that look very much like fake hair off of the map? I'm sorry. I had to point that out. I don't know.
It's sports entertainment hair.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yes.
I could use some of that in the back here.
Dropped my format and I can't pick it up right now, so I'm gonna have to read it from the room or from the floor. We saw. I do want to just because it was kind of the next match. We had Jon Moxley in another eliminator match of some sort after he just had one against Rocky Romero. Rocky got a lot of offense on this one, and this I did want to kind of put this together because we all saw the match. It was great. No one's ever going to question the validity of how great these matches are. So my question, what I wanted to present to you, and this can be put together with a Swerve match, is how often were these guys wrestling before they were champions? It's not a rhetorical question. Like, how often? Like pretty, like every week, every other week, right? They were wrestling a lot, is my point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
So now that they're champions, and I'm not saying I get the fighting champion, but what's changed? Like, what has changed after becoming champion? Absolutely nothing. Yeah. And there's something not right with that. There's something not right with they become literally the top prize. Let's get rid of the WWE for a second. They literally become two of the biggest champions in the entire wrestling world. Yet they're still wrestling these meaningless matches on a weekly basis. Mm-hmm. Like, if that's the case, and give the championship to someone else if they're just going to stay the same exact person every single week. And I see that with Swerve and Jon Moxley.
That's why I didn't know what to pick in terms of our predictions on Wrestling Inc. going into Double or Nothing with Moxley and Takeshita. I thought, what was the point of having this match if maybe there's not going to be some shenanigans go on and Takeshita wins? So that now he's got this, title shot down the road because he won an eliminator match, right? That didn't happen. I ended up switching my pick at the very end, creeping up in the standings, by the way, for the year. But yeah, it drives me nuts too. I don't understand the concept. And the way you just described that, George, made me think of like back in the day, and we don't want to just be like WWF, WWE, but I can recall, I'm just making something up here, but a situation like a Bret Hart as world champion having a match on, let's say, Superstars with Iron Mike Sharp, right? Which turns out to be a really engaging matchup, right? Who's going to win. But there's something different about it. There's a mystique that's not there, right? The stakes are different. It's a fighting champion type of thing. It's the non-title match, which we may or may not like, right, Jimmy? But it's still, the champ is being active. He's not just resting on his laurels. Maybe he's warming up for his next shot. But I don't know. There's something that's missing in this eliminator thing. And also, I think WWE used to do it as well. I think they called it something different, right? Championship contenders match or something like that to fight the champion. But I don't like it either.
Listen, I'm not saying you got to have one championship match every 6 months like Roman Reigns, right? I feel like that's exception to the rule, or even like 3 months. But to like literally have a match like every single week, Jimmy, like I don't know, like I get like I think of the Austin, like the Attitude Era, and where like Austin was literally on every single week. He was always involved in something, and if he wasn't wrestling some kind of tag match, and I think that's is that like the way to hide it? To have like a bunch of tag matches and really like showcase a champion like that. That way, people they still remain fresh in people's minds.
That's one avenue you can take, but at the same time, you can have your champion come on TV and show himself in many different ways. Stone Cold used to come out, chug a beer, stun somebody that the people despise. He got over, chugged a few more Steve Weisers, and that was it. He got over that way. He didn't have to have a match per se. And putting him in tag matches, the odd tag match helped as well. And to your point, John, having, Bret Hart, he didn't do it every week. Yes, he had some good matches with some upper level enhancement talent, for lack of a better term, because an Iron Mike Sharp was a guy who could go, and he could put the boots to someone like a Bret Hart and make it believable. And people go, oh, he's giving the champ a run for his money, and the champ overcomes and that sort of stuff. But yeah, it just feels wrong putting him in meaningless matches because there's no rhyme or reason to have him face so-and-so. I, with all due respect to Rocky Romero, I think the last match he won was in 2021. So what earned him an opportunity to wrestle for not only the championship, to wrestle for an opportunity to wrestle for the championship? I thought we had a ranking system. Whatever happened to that thing?
It was there, and then it was gone, and then it was back, and now it's gone again, apparently.
Yeah, but again, not to make it again. We're not saying you have to be like the WWE. Be an alternative. Be something different, but have it make sense. Give it some reasons for it to happen, as opposed to oh, this is a cool matchup. Let's put it together.
It's almost as if. Good.
Oh, sorry, George. You got to have some foresight. Like, don't let people like us come on right after and go, why did they do that?
It just kind of seems a little bit every now and then where it seems like, you know what, on the other show the champion never wrestles, but on our show the champ is always going to wrestle because that's where the best wrestle. Like, I'm not saying don't, you know, I guess WWE is there. We're bringing them back into the equation now, but you know, I get WWE is there, but they do some things right. You know, you don't got to do a lot of things what they do, but there's a couple things that they do right. Right. And it's a lot of that is that mystique of maybe a champion of the aura and whatnot. And yeah, there's something about their champions and even how Moxley was presented. It's like these guys are on every single week. I thought it would have been even the same, or if not even more impactful, if Swerve didn't have a match and he only came out at the end of the show, like we saw ended up happening.
No, what I would have liked to see happen is if you're going to have him come out and make his promo or whatever he says, he puts over the gauntlet match as something big, something that's really important. I am here to look and see for myself with my own eyes who's going to be next on my list. So whoever that is, I'm here, I'm watching, and I'm waiting for you.
Yeah, I mean, I know he had a little backstage promo before then, but even like maybe coming out before that match started and saying, "Hey, I'm out here, I'm still champion," gives the crowd a reason to do the dance, and then just says, "You know, I'll be watching ringside," and I'm you know just kind of keeping an eye on something. Yeah, just there's many ways to do these things. You know, making sure Swerve got his TV time.